True strength isn't loud. It doesn't shout, demand, or intimidate through force. True strength is quiet. It's the unshakable confidence of someone who knows who they are, the calm balance of a mind guided by logic and compassion, and the presence that inspires others simply by existing. A strong personality rooted in this kind of discipline and self-mastery can command respect effortlessly. And yes, to those who haven't cultivated their inner strength, it can be intimidating. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus taught us that a truly formidable presence doesn't come from aggression or dominance, but from mastering oneself. It's about aligning your actions with your values, balancing reason with emotion, and fostering a compassionate yet disciplined core. This isn't about overpowering others. It's about commanding respect through integrity and self-awareness. Today, we'll uncover 12 powerful signs that you have a strong, intimidating personality, one forged by Stoic principles and modern psychological wisdom. These are the traits of those who navigate life with clarity, resilience, and a healed soul, a rare combination that inspires some and unsettles others. But before we dive in, here's your moment to act. If you're ready to embrace your inner strength and cultivate these traits further, hit that like button. Why? Because when you engage, you're not just supporting this content, you're helping spread these ideas to others who need them. Subscribe to Victory Stoic for more wisdom on building self-discipline, resilience, and purpose, and share this video with someone who embodies, or aspires to, this kind of presence. Strength is not about overpowering, it's about mastery. Let's begin. Number 1. You stay calm under pressure. In times of chaos, calm is power. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In moments of crisis, it's not the loudest voice or the rashest decision that wins. It's the steady hand, the composed mind, and the unwavering presence of someone who knows how to remain grounded under pressure." Let's look at a historical example. Winston Churchill during the Blitz in World War II. London was under relentless bombing, the city in ruins, fear rampant. Yet Churchill, through his calm demeanor and steady resolve, inspired an entire nation to stand firm. He didn't downplay the severity of the situation but focused on solutions, rallying his people with unwavering confidence. His composure under unimaginable stress was intimidating to enemies and empowering to allies. This trait isn't reserved for leaders of nations. It can manifest in everyday situations. Imagine a workplace scenario where a major deadline is missed and chaos ensues. While colleagues panic and throw blame, you step back, assess the situation, and create a plan to move forward. Your calm cuts through the noise, providing direction and clarity. That level of composure not only earns respect, but also highlights a strength that others often find intimidating. From a psychological perspective, emotional regulation is one of the hallmarks of emotional intelligence. People who can manage their emotions in high-stress situations exude confidence and control, often unnerving those who depend on drama or panic as their default response. Your ability to stay calm in the storm makes you a stabilizing force, a lighthouse in turbulent waters. Here's how to practice staying calm under pressure. Pause and breathe. When stress rises, take a moment to ground yourself with slow, deep breaths. Focus on what you can control. Shift your attention to actions you can take rather than worrying about what's out of your hands. Reframe the situation. Instead of seeing pressure as a threat, view it as an opportunity to rise and lead. The Stoics believe that pressure doesn't create character, it reveals it. In moments of adversity, your ability to stay calm reflects your inner strength and mastery over your mind. Whether you're leading a team, navigating a personal challenge, or simply handling a stressful day, remember that the calmest person in the room is often the most powerful. When you embody this principle, you become a presence others look to in times of crisis, just as Churchill did, just as Marcus Aurelius did. And that calm, steady strength, it's what sets you apart and makes your personality quietly intimidating in the best way possible. Number 2. You value logic over emotion. Let's face it, most people are like an overboiling pot when emotions take over. They rant, rage, and make decisions in the heat of the moment, only to regret it later. But not you. You're the one who calmly turns off the heat and takes the pot off the stove. You can acknowledge emotions without letting them rule you. Your decisions are driven by logic and that level-headedness. It's intimidating to those who are prisoners of their impulses. The Stoics laid the foundation for this mindset. Epictetus taught, the rational soul stays detached from passions. They didn't mean suppressing emotions, but detaching from their control. Logic acts as the compass, guiding your actions toward what's right and effective, not what feels good at the moment. Here's an everyday scenario. You're in a heated argument, and your opponent is throwing a tantrum, raising their voice, and spewing half-baked points. Meanwhile, you remain calm, let them finish, and then quietly present a series of undeniable facts. What happens? They either storm off in frustration or fall silent, because they can't argue with reason. This isn't about winning arguments. It's about showing that emotional outbursts don't faze you, and that your clarity of thought is your greatest strength. Let's add another example, one from the workplace. A project hits a roadblock, and your colleagues begin panicking, firing off emails, and pointing fingers. Instead of joining the chaos, you take a step back, analyze the problem, and suggest a logical solution. Suddenly, the team stops spiraling and follows your lead. Your composure under pressure and focus on facts position you as a natural leader. And yes, it intimidates those who rely on drama to assert dominance. Psychologically, this trait is rooted in emotional intelligence. Being able to pause, process your emotions, and then act with reason isn't just a skill, it's a superpower. Research shows that logical decision-making leads to better outcomes in personal and professional life. It also fosters respect because people see you as someone they can rely on when situations get tough. But let's not ignore the humor here. Picture this. A friend is venting about how their favorite coffee shop got their order wrong. Instead of joining their outrage over the tragic misplacement of oat milk, you simply say, "You could politely ask them to remake it." Silence. They look at you stunned. That's the power of your logic. It deflates unnecessary drama, often leaving people unsure whether to thank you or be annoyed. Here's how to cultivate and sharpen this trait. Pause before reacting, take a breath and ask, what are the facts here? Detach, don't suppress. Acknowledge your emotions, but don't let them dictate your actions. Practice in small moments. Handle minor frustrations with reason, so they become second nature in bigger challenges. Valuing logic over emotion isn't about being cold or unfeeling. It's about ensuring your actions align with your values and goals. Your ability to stay rational with others can't make you a pillar of strength. And yes, it can be unsettling to those who live by their whims. But as the Stoics would remind us, the rational mind is the master of itself. Keep mastering yours, and let the world watch in awe, or mild confusion. Number 3. You are unapologetically yourself. In a world where everyone is clamoring to fit in, you decided to stand out, not by trying, but simply by being yourself. No masks, no performances, no desperate need for approval. You've embraced who you are, flaws and all, and that confidence. It's magnetic. But to some, it's also intimidating, because it's a mirror reflecting their insecurities. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be content with what you are, and wish not to change, nor dread your last day, nor long for it." The Stoics believed in living authentically, free from the chains of external validation. You don't twist yourself into a pretzel trying to please everyone. You walk into a room, not needing to be liked but radiating self-assurance, and the right people are drawn to you, while others are left perplexed. Here's a modern example. Imagine a party where everyone is dressed in the latest trends, nervously checking if their outfits match the vibe. Then you walk in, wearing something that's undeniably you. Maybe it's bold, maybe it's understated, but it screams confidence. Heads turn. Some might judge, some might admire, but you don't care. You're not there to impress. You're there to be present. And that authenticity? It makes you unforgettable. Another example could be how you handle societal expectations. Everyone's pressuring you to follow the normal path. Get this job, marry by this age, buy that house. But you've chosen your road, one that aligns with your values and passions. Maybe you're pursuing an unconventional career or prioritizing travel over settling down. People might question your choices, but your calm, grounded response shows you're not just living, you're thriving. Psychologically, this confidence stems from self-awareness. You've taken the time to understand your values, your strengths, and even your flaws. You know what you bring to the table, and that clarity shields you from the need to conform. This kind of authenticity can unsettle those who live for external validation, because it reminds them of what they're lacking: inner peace. Here's how to embrace this trait further. Define your values. Write down what truly matters to you, not what society says should matter. Celebrate your quirks. What makes you different is your strength. Own it unapologetically. Detach from external approval. Remind yourself that other people's opinions don't define your worth. Number 4. You set and maintain strong boundaries. Picture this. You're at a family gathering, and you're well-meaning and insists you need to settle down, get married, and have 3 kids before you hit 30. Instead of diving into a long-winded justification or letting the comment ruin your day, you simply smile and say, "I appreciate your concern, but I'm happy with where I am." No anger, no debate, just a calm assertion of your boundaries. Your response? Pure intimidation to someone who thrives on overstepping. Boundaries are the invisible fences that protect your peace, and you don't apologize for having them. Marcus Aurelius captured this mindset perfectly. To live a good life, we have the potential for it, if we can learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. In other words, you decide what's worth your energy and politely dismiss the rest. Here's another example. Imagine your coworker frequently drops last-minute tasks on your desk, expecting you to clean up their messes. But this time you calmly say, "I'm happy to help when I can, but I need more notice next time." No yelling, no passive aggression, just a firm statement that immediately sets a boundary. Your coworkers might grumble, but they'll think twice before doing it again. Strong boundaries don't mean you're cold or unapproachable. Quite the opposite. You're warm and compassionate, but you also respect yourself enough to say no when needed. Whether it's declining a social event because you need rest or refusing to engage in gossip, your ability to prioritize your peace over people-pleasing can feel unsettling to those used to manipulate others. Now let's take this to an everyday, humorous example. You're out for coffee with a friend who starts venting, again, about their relationship drama. For the 15th time, they ask, "What do you think I should do?" Instead of diving into another hour-long advice session, you gently but firmly say, "I think you already know the answer." They might feel thrown off, but they'll also realize you're not there to be their emotional crutch. You're there as a friend, not a therapist. Psychologically, setting boundaries shows high emotional intelligence and self-respect. Research confirms that people who set and maintain boundaries are less likely to feel overwhelmed or burn out. And here's the kicker. Strong boundaries often lead to deeper, more authentic relationships because they foster mutual respect. How to strengthen this trait? Know your limits. Take time to reflect on what behaviors or situations drain your energy. Communicate clearly. When setting a boundary, be direct but kind. There's no need for hostility. Stick to it. Boundaries lose their power if you don't enforce them consistently. Setting boundaries might intimidate those who are used to overstepping, but it also sets a powerful example. It teaches others to respect your time, energy, and values. And over time, those who truly care about you will appreciate your clarity and honesty. As Marcus Aurelius would remind you, you cannot control the actions of others, but you can control how much access they have to your life. So keep setting those boundaries. They're not walls to shut people out. They're gates to let the right people in. Number 5. You speak with purpose and confidence. In a world where everyone is trying to outtalk each other, you've mastered the art of speaking only when it matters. Your words are intentional, your tone steady, and your presence commanding. Epictetus captured this perfectly. Let silence be your goal, and speak only what is necessary. You don't fill the air with noise, you fill it with meaning. And that kind of purposeful communication? It's magnetic, even intimidating. Picture this. You're at a meeting, and the discussion has spiraled into a sea of loud opinions, half-baked ideas, and endless interruptions. You've been silent, listening, taking it all in. When the room finally quiets, you speak. Your contribution is precise, grounded in logic, and cuts straight to the heart of the issue. The room goes silent again, not because you demanded it, but because your words carry weight. Now compare this to the colleague who constantly interrupts, talks over others, and throws out random ideas just to appear involved. Their endless chatter loses impact, while your few deliberate words command respect. Your confidence in speaking not just often, but effectively, is a skill that few possess, and it's a powerful one. Let's take this into everyday life. Imagine you're at a family dinner, and someone brings up a contentious topic. While others argue and raise their voices, you wait. When you finally speak, you share a calm, well-thought-out perspective. The tone of the conversation shifts, and people start listening instead of yelling. That's the power of speaking with intention. It changes the energy in the room. Psychologically, this is rooted in the authority effect. Studies show that people are more likely to respect and remember what you say when you speak with confidence and precision. When you avoid unnecessary chatter, your words become a rare commodity, valuable and worth paying attention to. Here's how to refine this trait. Pause before speaking. Give yourself a moment to gather your thoughts and ensure your words align with your intention. Focus on impact. Ask yourself, am I adding value to this conversation? Let silence work for you. Sometimes, what you don't say is just as powerful as what you do. Consider historical figures, like Abraham Lincoln, whose speeches were known for their brevity and profound impact. The Gettysburg Address was just 272 words, yet it's remembered as one of the greatest speeches in history. Lincoln didn't waste words. He used them with purpose. When you speak with purpose and confidence, people listen not because you demand it, but because your words are worth hearing. As Epictetus reminds us, silence is safer than speech. So keep speaking with intention, and let your voice become a force that inspires, influences, and leads. Number 6. You are introspective and self-aware. In the mythic age of ancient wisdom, the Oracle of Delphi etched an eternal truth into stone. Know thyself. This sacred command wasn't a casual suggestion. It was a call to mastery, a reminder that true power begins with understanding your soul. Marcus Aurelius echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." To be introspective and self-aware is to wield a power that few dare to seek, the power of inner clarity. Imagine yourself as a voyager navigating the stormy seas of life. Instead of being tossed by the waves of external chaos, you turn inward, using your mind as a compass. While others lash out in anger, driven by impulsive reactions, you reflect. What led me to feel this way? How could I have responded better? This introspection isn't a weakness. It's your map to mastery, ensuring you emerge stronger after every storm. Here's a story to ground this trait in everyday life. You've just had a heated disagreement with a friend. They raised their voice. You stay calm, but the tension lingered. Later, instead of stewing in resentment or self-righteousness, you sit quietly with your thoughts. You replay the interaction, asking yourself, was I clear in my communication? Did I allow their frustration to affect me? This reflection helps you grow, not by beating yourself up, but by uncovering lessons hidden within the conflict. Self-awareness is your mythical shield. It protects you from the emotional arrows of others and prevents you from harming yourself with unchecked thoughts. It's the force that helps you separate your ego from your essence, allowing you to respond to life's challenges with grace instead of reactivity. Think of this trait as your inner temple, a place where you retreat to understand your emotions and align your actions with your principles. In mythology, heroes often journey inward to discover their true strength. You too are on such a quest, using reflection to refine your character and sharpen your wisdom. From a psychological perspective, self-awareness fosters emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and regulate your emotions. It also cultivates humility, reminding you that growth is a lifelong process. To others, your introspection can be intimidating. It reveals a level of depth and self-mastery that they may not have achieved. How to cultivate introspection. Set aside time for reflection. Spend a few minutes each day journaling or meditating on your thoughts and actions. Ask yourself meaningful questions. Why did I feel that way? What could I do differently next time? Be kind in self-assessment. Growth comes from curiosity, not self-criticism. Remember Odysseus, who didn't just battle external monsters, but also faced the trials of his mind. His introspection allowed him to outwit challenges, proving that the greatest journey is often inward. So, like the heroes of old, embrace your inner reflection. Let your thoughts guide your actions, and your wisdom shape your destiny. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, dig within. With it is the wellspring of good, and it is always ready to bubble up if you just dig. Number 7. You don't seek validation. In a world where so many chase applause, you stand apart as someone who doesn't need a crowd's approval to feel whole. Your confidence is unshakable because it doesn't depend on likes, compliments, or external praise. As Marcus Aurelius so powerfully wrote, never value anything as profitable to you which compels you to break your promise, to lose your self-respect, or to hate any man. For you, self-respect outweighs the fleeting satisfaction of validation. Imagine a warrior in a myth, standing tall against a roaring crowd. But instead of basking in their cheers, the warrior simply turns inward, asking, did I fight with honor? Did I uphold my values? The crowd fades into irrelevance because the only judgment that matters is their own. This is you, a modern-day hero whose actions align with their principles, not the whims of others. Here's a relatable example. You've just completed a challenging project at work, and the results are impressive. Your colleagues might offer praise, but you don't rely on their recognition to feel accomplished. You pursued the project because it aligned with your values, dedication, growth, and excellence. The applause is nice, but it doesn't define your worth. Now think about social media, where validation is currency. While others obsess over likes and comments you post, or don't post, based on your intent, not for external affirmation. You understand that your value isn't tied to someone's double tap on a screen. From a psychological perspective, this self-assurance stems from an internal locus of control. You believe that your worth is determined by your actions and mindset, not external factors. This kind of inner strength is rare, and it can unsettle those who live for validation, because your independence challenges their need for external approval. A more lighthearted example. Picture a group of friends arguing over the best place to grab dinner. Everyone wants their opinion validated, but you calmly say, "I'm good with whatever aligns with the group." Your lack of attachment to being right is refreshing, but also intimidating to those who need to win the smallest debates. Here's how to embrace this principle even further. Define your values. Understand what truly matters to you, so you don't seek approval for things that don't align. Reflect on your actions. At the end of the day, ask yourself, did I live up to my standards? Practice self-validation. Celebrate your wins privately, acknowledging your growth without needing external recognition. Think of Marcus Aurelius himself, ruling one of the largest empires in history, yet writing reflections meant only for his own eyes. His journal, Meditations, wasn't created for validation. It was a tool for self-improvement, a way to hold himself accountable to his values. So let others chase the applause. You know that true power comes from living authentically, guided by your principles. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the approval of others is a distraction. Your path is yours alone, and that independence, it's a strength that not only inspires, but leaves others in awe. Number 8. You balance compassion with strength. True strength doesn't mean being rigid or unyielding. It means having the wisdom to pair resilience with compassion. Marcus Aurelius beautifully captured this idea when he wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." You understand that people are imperfect, including yourself, and your kindness comes not from weakness, but from a place of empathy and quiet strength. Imagine a friend going through a tough time. They've made mistakes, and they're confiding in you. Instead of dismissing their pain or enabling harmful patterns, you listen carefully, offering them both support and gentle honesty. "I know this is hard for you," you say, "but I believe you're strong enough to face this and make things better." In that moment, your words reflect your balance, empathy for their struggles, and a belief in their ability to take responsibility. This balance is rare. Some lean too far into softness, becoming overly accommodating, while others default to harshness, mistaking it for strength. But you've found the middle path. Your compassion isn't a free pass for others to avoid growth. It's an invitation for them to rise, knowing they're supported. In the workplace, this might look like mentoring a colleague who's struggling with their performance. Instead of criticizing them, you take time to guide them, pointing out their strengths while encouraging them to improve. Your approach fosters respect, not fear, because your kindness is backed by integrity and accountability. Psychologically, this balance is rooted in emotional intelligence, the ability to connect with others while maintaining your boundaries. People are drawn to you because they feel seen and understood, but they also know you'll challenge them to be better. It's a rare combination that commands both trust and admiration. To cultivate this balance further, listen deeply. Before offering advice or judgment, seek to understand the other person's perspective. Set healthy boundaries. Compassion doesn't mean sacrificing your well-being. Encourage growth. Offer kindness, but don't shy away from helping others face hard truths. Think of figures like the Dalai Lama, who embodies this principle. His compassion for humanity is boundless, but his wisdom often challenges people to confront their actions and take responsibility for creating a better world. It's this blend of empathy and strength that makes him a beacon of inspiration. When you balance compassion with strength, you become a source of comfort and clarity for others. Your kindness doesn't come at the expense of your principles. It's a reflection of them. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, kindness is invincible if it is sincere. By living this balance, you show that true power lies in lifting others while staying grounded in your integrity. Number 9. You are resilient in the face of adversity. Adversity isn't an enemy, it's a teacher. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Challenges don't break you, they shape you. Your ability to remain steady and turn obstacles into opportunities is both rare and inspiring, and, to some, intimidating. Imagine you've faced a career setback, a missed promotion, a lost client, or even being let go. While others might spiral into self-doubt or blame, you pause, reflect, and ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of dwelling on the loss, you use it as fuel, identifying areas for growth and rebuilding stronger. Months later, you secured an even better role, and those who once doubted you can only watch it all. Or picture a storm rolling into your personal life, unexpected health challenges, financial stress, or a sudden breakup. While many would crumble under the weight, you anchor yourself in resilience. You acknowledge the hardship without letting it consume you, focusing instead on small, steady steps forward. Friends and family might wonder, how do they stay so calm? But they don't see the quiet strength you've cultivated through reflection and perseverance. Psychologically, resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about growing through what you go through. You've trained your mind to see obstacles as part of the process, not the end of the road. This mindset sets you apart, especially in a world where many seek shortcuts or avoid challenges altogether. To cultivate resilience further, reframe challenges. Instead of seeing difficulties as barriers, view them as opportunities to learn and grow. Focus on what you can control. Channel your energy into actions within your power, letting go of the rest. Celebrate progress. Acknowledge even small victories. They're stepping stones to greater achievements. Consider historical figures, like Helen Keller, who faced unimaginable adversity, but transformed her challenges into a source of strength, inspiring millions. Her resilience wasn't just about surviving. It was about thriving in a way that redefined what was possible. Your ability to face hardship with grace and determination is a testament to your inner strength. As Marcus Aurelius teaches, the obstacles in your path are not there to defeat you but to elevate you. With each challenge you conquer, you show the world, and yourself, that you're stronger than whatever stands in your way. Number 10. You lead by example. Actions speak louder than words, and you let your actions do all the talking. Epictetus wisely said, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. You don't waste time lecturing or preaching. Instead, you quietly, consistently live out your values. And here's the thing, people notice. Your example sets the tone, often leaving others inspired, or a little intimidated. Let's bring this into the realm of love and relationships. Imagine a couple. One partner constantly complains about how they wish their relationship had better communication, but never make the effort to start meaningful conversations. Then there's you, the person who doesn't talk about wanting better communication, you just do it. You listen deeply, share honestly, and show your partner what open dialogue looks like. Over time, they follow your lead. No nagging, no ultimatums, just the quiet power of example. Or consider this humorous twist. Your friend is always lamenting their failed relationships, blaming their exes for every issue. Meanwhile, you're over here living your stoic love story. When your partner forgets to take out the trash, you don't launch into a passive-aggressive tirade. Instead, you calmly take care of it and later say, "Hey, can we work together to stay on top of these chores?" Your maturity might baffle them, but it's also a subtle lesson in how patience and action trump blame gains every time. In everyday life, your leadership might look like this. A group project at work is spiraling into chaos. While everyone else debates endlessly, you start organizing tasks, setting deadlines, and leading the way, not by bossing people around, but by showing them how it's done. By the end, the project succeeds, and people are left thinking, we couldn't have done this without them. Psychologically, leading by example is far more effective than commanding or criticizing. Studies show that people are more likely to emulate behaviors they observe rather than ones they're told to adopt. Your ability to inspire action without saying much is a testament to your discipline and integrity. To strengthen this trait, Start small. Focus on embodying one value or habit you wish to inspire in others. Be consistent. Leadership through example relies on steady, predictable actions. Let go of control. Lead without expecting immediate results. Trust that your actions will resonate over time. Think of Rosa Parks, whose quiet act of defiance on a Montgomery bus sparked a movement. She didn't shout or demand change. She simply refused to move. Her example showed the world what courage looked like, and the ripple effects changed history. In love, work, or community, your leadership isn't about being the loudest voice or the most visible presence. It's about integrity, discipline, and living your values so clearly that others can't help but follow. As Epictetus reminds us, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. And you embody it with every step, showing the world that true leadership doesn't demand attention, it earns respect. Number 11. You are comfortable with solitude. In a world that thrives on constant noise, you're the person who finds peace in silence. Marcus Aurelius described it best. Nowhere can men find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his soul. You don't need a crowd to feel complete, or a flurry of notifications to validate your existence. Solitude isn't just your haven, it's your sanctuary for reflection, growth, and self-discovery. Picture this. It's Friday night, and while your friends are posting stories of loud parties and late-night adventures, you're perfectly content at home. Maybe you're journaling, reading a book that expands your mind, or experimenting with a new recipe in the kitchen. To others, this might seem boring, but for you, it's a chance to recharge and realign with your goals. Meanwhile, they're waking up on Saturday with a hangover and existential dread. You, fresh, focused, and ready to conquer the day. Now let's add some humor to the mix. Imagine your coworkers invite you to a chaotic team-building karaoke night. You politely decline, saying, "Thanks, but I've got plans." What plans? Sitting at home with your thoughts and a good cup of tea. The next day, when everyone is swapping stories of their off-key renditions of Bohemian Rhapsody, they ask you, "What did you do last night?" You just smile, knowing you spent the evening in peaceful introspection instead of screaming into a microphone. Your comfort with solitude isn't about avoiding people. It's about valuing your own company. While others may struggle to sit quietly without distractions, you see solitude as an opportunity to check in with yourself, reflect on your goals, and process your emotions. It's this level of self-awareness that can intimidate those who rely on external validation to feel whole. Psychologically, your love for solitude stems from your inner strength. Research shows that people who enjoy alone time are often more self-reliant, emotionally stable, and creative. They're not running from loneliness. They're embracing their presence as a source of clarity and peace. Here's how to deepen your relationship with solitude. Create a ritual. Dedicate specific times to be alone. Whether it's morning meditation, evening journaling, or a weekend hike. Focus on self-reflection. Use your alone time to assess your actions, set goals, and practice gratitude. Protect your solitude. Don't feel guilty for saying no to plans if you need time to recharge. Think of historical figures, like Henry David Thoreau, who retreated to a cabin in the woods to write Walden and find deeper truths about life. His solitude wasn't isolation. It was a deliberate choice to connect with himself and the world on a profound level. Your ability to be comfortable in solitude sets you apart in a society that fears silence. It's a reminder that true strength doesn't come from being constantly surrounded by others. It comes from knowing you're complete on your own. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, retreat into yourself, for nowhere can you find a more peaceful refuge. And for you, that refuge isn't just peaceful, it's powerful. Number 12. You turn challenges into opportunities. Life isn't measured by what happens to you, but by how you respond to it. Seneca, ever the voice of Stoic wisdom, reminds us, We are not given a short life, but we make it short, and we are not ill-supplied but wasteful of it. You understand this truth deeply. To you, obstacles are roadblocks. They're stepping stones. Each challenge is an opportunity to grow, to refine yourself, and to emerge stronger. Imagine this: at work, you receive unexpected criticism from a superior. Many would take it personally, retreating into self-doubt or frustration. But not you. Instead, you pause, reflect, and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? You take the feedback, adjust your approach, and, in a few weeks, your performance speaks for itself. The very thing that could have brought you down becomes the reason you rise higher. Or consider another example. A project you've poured your heart into falls through. While others might wallow in disappointment, you view it as a chance to pivot. What can I do differently next time? You asked. Soon, you're not just starting over. You're building something even better, with lessons learned from your setback. To the outside world, it looks like resilience. To you, it's simply how you move through life. Your ability to see challenges as opportunities isn't just inspiring, it's transformative. You've trained your mind to shift perspective, finding meaning and growth in situations that many would see as failures. This mindset can intimidate those who are quick to give up because it highlights what they might lack: patience, perseverance, and the willingness to adapt. Here's how to continue turning challenges into opportunities. Reframe the narrative. When faced with a setback, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Focus on growth. View each challenge as a stepping stone toward becoming a stronger version of yourself. Celebrate resilience. Acknowledge the strength it takes to turn adversity into progress. Think of Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His challenges didn't deter him. They fueled his innovation. That same spirit drives you, allowing you to thrive where others falter. Your approach to challenges shows that life's difficulties are not to be feared but embraced. Each one is a chance to learn, to grow, and to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought possible. As Seneca might remind you, it's not the length of life that matters, but how you use it, and you're using it to its fullest potential. Conclusion. A strong, intimidating personality is not forged through dominance or loudness. It's built on self-mastery, unshakable clarity, and a life lived in alignment with values that matter. It's a quiet power, a presence that commands respect through action rather than words, and a balance of intellect, compassion, and inner peace. This kind of strength doesn't overpower, it inspires. As we've explored these 12 signs, it's clear that such a personality isn't born. It's cultivated through deliberate effort, reflection, and a commitment to growth. These traits are not just about standing out. They're about standing tall, unyielding in the face of life's challenges, and resolute in your principles. Now, it's your turn to reflect. Do you recognize these traits in yourself? Which ones resonate most? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear how you embody or aspire to embody this kind of strength. And if this video inspired you, take a moment to like and subscribe to Victory Stoic. Join us in building a community dedicated to timeless wisdom, personal growth, and the pursuit of a life well lived. Share this video with someone who might need a reminder of their potential or an invitation to explore their inner strength. Remember, true strength isn't about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself. Let's continue this journey together, embracing resilience, wisdom, and compassion. Because when you master yourself, you don't just transform your life, you become a beacon for others to follow. Let's build that strength. And let's build it together.